So good morning, everyone. So let's begin the today's session. So let me just open the notes first. Also open the Eclipse ID meanwhile. Hope you guys have done the assignments and all that I'm posting in this Telegram group. So this topic is very important. So we are spending a lot of time on this. So the last topic was overloading concept. Now we'll move on to the inheritance. Okay. So what is inheritance and all I'm going to cover in this session. So it's very simple, guys. Just see here. So in order to understand inheritance, you need to understand something in real world. Let's say our parents are there. Okay. So from our parents, okay, the children will inherit the properties, the genes, and all those stuff, right? Let's say these are the parents. The parents' children will inherit all the properties, uh, genes and all those stuff, right? What about the parents? They will inherit something from their grandparents. Okay, from our grandparents, our parents will inherit the properties and all genes and all those stuff. Okay, so like this in Java also there will be a child class and there can be a parent class. Okay, from the parent class, the child class will inherit the properties. Why this is required in Java? Why a child class need to inherit the properties of the parent class? I'm going to cover that now. Okay. So a child class will inherit the properties from the parent class. That's what is inheritance all about. Okay. So inheritance is a mechanism in which one class acquires the properties. Properties means what? Variables and methods of another class. Why a class will acquire the properties of another class? Why a child class can acquire the properties of another class? Okay, I'll tell you. Let's say there is a bank. There is a class. The class name is HDFC Bank. HDFC Bank. Okay, there is another class. That class name is, let's say, ICICI, some bank, XYZ Bank, ICICI Bank. There's another class. The class name is, let's say, SBI Bank. Like that, many classes are there. Okay, there's one more bank. Let's say the bank name is IDFC Bank. Okay. So like this, different banks are there. HDFC, ICICI, SBI, IDFC, different banks are there. In this HDFC Bank, there is a variable saying account type. Account type 1. There is one variable. Account type 2 is another variable. Similarly, there is a method. Deposit money method is there here. And here, transfer money. Another method, transfer money method is there. Okay. Here also in ICICI Bank, again the same properties are there. That is account type 1 property variable, account type 2, variable is there. Similarly, deposit money method is there. Transfer money method is there. Okay. In SBI Bank also, the same variables and methods are there. Account type 1, account type 2. Here also, deposit money method and transfer money method. Here in IDFC, account type 1 property and account type 2 property. Here deposit money method, then transfer money method. Okay. So fine. So we have account type 1, account type. So do you see any similarity between all the classes? Guys, do you see similarity? Yes or no? In all the classes, the same variables and same methods are there. There can be some different methods also. So for example, XYZ may have HDFC may have HDFC method, let's say, some extra method. ICICI may have some ICICI method. That's okay. That's okay to have its own methods, not a problem. SBI may have its own method, SBI method. IDFC may have its own method, IDFC method. Okay. But these four properties, these two variables, two methods are common, right? Are they common or not? In HDFC, ICICI, SBI, IDFC, these four properties, these two variables, two methods are common. These other variables and other methods may be different, but these four variables, two variables, two methods are common, right? So, is it a good idea to create, for example, if I have this 100 type of banks, in every bank of that 100 banks, they have the same two variables, same two methods. Is it okay to create this like anything? Repeatedly, do I have to create these variables and methods? It's a good idea. If 100 banks are there, in 100 banks, I have to create the same two variables, two methods. Do you think it's a good idea to create like that? What do you say, guys? There should be some solution, right? There should be solution where if 100 banks have to create the same two variables, two methods, similar two variables, two methods, I don't have to create like that again and again. So what I will do is I'll create a parent class. What I will create, type everyone in the chat box. What I have to create? I have to create a parent class. Type parent class in the chat box. That's the answer. Type parent class. So instead of creating this same two variables, two methods in all the 100 classes, 100 bank classes, I'll create a parent class. I'll just name this parent class as bank class. Let's say this is a bank class. Okay. I'll create a parent class known as bank class. In that bank class, I will create this account type 1, account type 2, and deposit money, transfer money only one time. Then these are required to create in every? No, I don't have to create them. I can remove them. Okay, I don't have to create the same two variables, two methods in all the classes now. What I will do is I'll make all these classes which need these two variables and two methods as a child classes of this parent class. Okay. Now HDFC is a child class of bank class. ICICI is a child class of the bank class. SBI is a child class of the bank class. IDFC is a child class of the bank class. When HDFC, ICICI, SBI, IDFC or remaining 96 other, if 100 banks are the remaining 96 are also the child classes of this bank class, do they have to repeatedly create the same two variables, two methods in all the classes? What do you say? Now have I resolved it? I have resolved this problem, right? I don't have to write this account type 1, account type 2 variables and deposit money, transfer money variables in all the classes. Simply, I'll move it to the parent class and I'll make this HDFC, ICICI and all the banks become the child classes of this bank class so that these two variables, two methods are automatically part of HDFC, ICICI, SBI, IDFC and all the remaining banks. Okay. These child classes will inherit the properties of the parent class. What the child in as per the inheritance concept, the child classes inherit the parent properties of what? Will inherit the properties of the parent class. Okay. So the properties of the parent class will be inherited by the child classes. So I don't have to recreate these variables and methods in the child class. They are inherited automatically from the parent class and they can use it. So it's clear with the inheritance concept theoretically. Theoretically, everyone is clear. If everyone is clear, type C in the chat box. Type C or S in the chat box. That's okay. Great. So why also I explained. Okay. Not only explained what is inheritance, why inheritance is needed also explained with this example, right? If this multiple classes are there having the same variables and methods, it's better to create a parent class. This kind of requirements will come in real time, guys. Okay. This kind of requirement will come in real time where multiple classes may have the same variables and methods. Instead of writing those same variables and methods across the multiple classes, we'll simply create a parent class and move that common variables and methods to the parent class. So I don't have to create them or duplicate them across multiple classes. That's what is the real time requirement. Why inheritance is required really. But what is inheritance? Inheritance is a mechanism in which one class acquires the properties of another class is inheritance. But why inheritance is required? If there are multiple classes, okay, having the same variables and methods, we simply create a parent class and move that common variables and methods to the parent class so that we don't have to write the same variables or create the same variables across multiple classes. So what is inheritance is covered. Why inheritance is required in programming is also covered for you, right? Then you will be able to understand. The purpose of this inheritance is use the properties, that is methods, variables inside a class instead of recreating the same properties again in the new class. Okay, across multiple classes instead of using the same variables and methods, we move this common variables and methods to the parent class so we don't have to write them again and again in all the child classes. If there are multiple child classes, okay, then that is the case. Child class acquires the properties, that is variables and methods of the parent. Whatever the variables and methods that are there in the parent class are automatically part of the child class. Okay. And here there is a keyword. What is the name of the keyword? Extends keyword. Everyone type in the chat box. What is the keyword name? A new keyword is required in inheritance. That is for making a class, a child class of another class, we have to use a keyword known as extends keyword. Okay. All lowercase guys, extends in lowercase, complete lowercase. Okay. Extends keyword. Okay. So using this keyword only, we can make one class, a child class of another class. Okay. This keyword is very important in inheritance. Okay. So I'm going to explain or demonstrate now practically. Okay, I'm going to practically demonstrate how to make a class, a child class of parent class with the example I'll tell you. Okay. Okay, 1 minute. Let the Eclipse ID launch. Okay, it got launched. Let me open this, expand this. Create a new package just for separation purpose. I'll just name that as inheritance. Inheritance. And in that, I'm going to create some classes. One of the class I'm going to create is let's say HDFC Bank. Okay, this is one class. Finish. And in this HDFC Bank class, okay, in this HDFC Bank class, I'm going to create some variables and methods. Okay, that is let's say string count type 1. Okay, string account type 1, then string count type 2. Okay, these are two variables I created. Some methods also I'll create. Public void uh, open account. Open account. Okay, open account. Account open. Account open. Okay, account open. Then public void deposit money. Deposit money. Money deposited. Okay, public void transfer money or withdraw money. Withdraw money. Money withdrawn. Then public void transfer money. Money transferred. Okay. So it may have its own methods also, some its own variables and all. I'll say I have to give something special about HDFC Bank or something. Uh, you know, uh, string. Yeah, account number, everything we can write, but I don't want to, to write. Okay. String or some method I'll create, otherwise some special method or something. String HDFC Bank. Something I need to make it something special, which cannot be part of any other bank kind of thing. Okay. HDFC Bank special loan or something. Okay. Loan type. Something something that cannot exist with other banks that I want to create here. Okay. So similarly, one method which is this almost opening account, deposit money, withdraw money, transfer money will be part of every bank. But here in HDFC, I would like to create some special feature. Flexi FD. Okay, Flexi FD. Open Flexi FD account. Open HDFC Flexi account. Okay, so some new feature. Okay, in HDFC, which is not there in any other bank. Let's say Flexi account of HDFC Bank opened. This is HDFC Bank, guys. Similarly, I would like to create other banks. Similarly, I would like to create other banks. New class, I'll say Axis Bank. Another bank, Axis Bank, I'll take. Again, in the same Axis Bank, again string account type 1 will be there. String account type 2 is there. String Axis 0 balance account type. Okay. Like that, some special account type for Axis Bank. Okay. Similarly, public void open account, same method. Open account is method is same right here. Whatever the method we have in HDFC Bank, these methods are same. All these 4 methods are same. Just copy paste. The 2 properties are same. This account type 1, account type 2 are same, but this one is different. But coming to these 4 methods, they are same. Account opened, money deposited, money withdrawn, money transferred. And last method, I'll create some special method here. It's not same, actually, I'll change it. Okay. I'll just change it to reverse transfer. Some new feature is there. Let's assume it won't be there in banks, but reverse money transfer feature is there in HDFC. Sorry, Axis Bank. Okay. Reversing money, transferred money, reversing transferred money back to Axis account. Like this one special method is there. I just want to, it's an illusion kind of thing, which won't be there in real world, but I'm just creating. Okay. Just create one more bank. Let's say this time ICICI I'll just create 3 banks, guys. That will be more than enough. Some 3 banks I'll create. So here again, string, same variables. String account type 1, account type 2. Same properties. Okay, these two are same. And string, here I'll create something good, different. Okay, high interest account type. Some ICICI bank account type is there, which will give you high interest rate. Okay, when you save the money in the bank. So public void. Again, the same 4 methods. Open account and all these are same across all the banks. Right? Same. These are same. ICICI, I'll create some special method for ICICI, also public void. Okay. No debit card fees. Apply. Okay. So for special customers, no debit card charges will be there. Okay. No debit card fees, annual fees for special customers of ICICI Bank applied. Okay, like that some method is there. Fine. So now we have HDFC Bank, we have Axis Bank, we have ICICI Bank. 3 banks are there. HDFC or else like this. Okay. This is not the right way. Better I'll just drag it this side only. It looks good. Some space will be there here. Okay. So HDFC Bank, we have 2 common properties. Here common methods are there. Some special variable and special method is also there. In Axis also, common 2 variables are there. One special variable is there, which is specific to Axis Bank, and 4 common methods are there. One special method is there related to Axis. Similarly, ICICI also 2 common variables are there. One special variable related to ICICI Bank. So 4 common methods across all the classes and one special method related to ICICI Bank. Now, do you see things are repeated here? Guys, do you see the things are repeated across multiple classes, same variables and same methods? Common variables and common method. There are 2 common variables. Account type 1, account type 2, which is also there in Axis Bank, which is also there in ICICI. There are 4 common methods: open account, deposit money, withdraw money, transfer money. These 4 are across common methods across all the 3 banks. So can I implement inheritance in this case? Can I create a parent class to overcome this problem? Yes, right. I can create a parent class to overcome this problem. So how to create a parent class? I'll just create a new class here. I'll just name this class as bank class. Bank class. Click on finish. And I'll move the common variables. These 2 are the common variables across all the classes. I'll move that to the bank class. After that, 4 common methods are there. I'll remove it from here. There are 4 common methods. Will transfer money. I'll also move that into the HDFC, sorry, normal bank class. Okay. Done. I'll just move this here. Move the Axis Bank here. Okay. Fine. So in the bank class, I moved the 2 common variables and 4 common methods. Now in individual classes, I'll remove that. Okay. Only special variable and special method of HDFC Bank will be there in the individual bank. Here common variables I'll remove from ICICI Bank. Some common methods also I'll remove from the ICICI Bank. Okay. Only this common way, the special variable and special method of ICICI Bank will stay. Here also in Axis Bank, the common variables I have to remove from my Axis Bank, and common methods also I'll remove from the Axis Bank. Only the special variable and special method related to the Axis Bank will stay. this much, only this variable, this method, this variable, this method, this variable, this method. And all the common things like these two common variables and four common methods are moved to the bank class. Now, are these two variables, common variables and common methods are part of this HDFC, ICICI and Axis Bank? Are now they part of at this moment? Yes or no? No, right? The answer is no. They're different classes. They're different classes. Until I make this HDFC bank class, ICICI bank class, Axis bank class as the child classes of this bank class, then only the properties of the bank class will be part of the child classes. Right? Right or wrong? Right, right? I'll show that. I'll create one more class. I'll just call the class as demo class. Just see here, before making them the child classes of the bank class, I'll create one more class like demo with public static void main. Okay, I'll just put it here, some side here. Now, how to access this variable and method which is there in HDFC bank class? What I have to do here in the inside the main method? What I have to do in order to access the variable and method of this HDFC bank class? What I have to do, guys? Tell me. Rajkumar is saying we have to create object. PN is saying create object. Pushkar is saying extends. No need to create extends to access the variable and method of this HDFC bank in this main method. Object creation is right answer. So what I have to create, guys? Object I have to create. For which class I have to create object if I want to access this HDFC bank variable and method? To the HDFC bank class, I need to create an object. How to create object? New HDFC bank. Okay. So object is created and I'm going to create an object reference in order to access this variable and method of this HDFC bank. So I'll say HDFC is object reference and I have to declare that with this HDFC object reference with HDFC bank. Done. Now using this object reference HDFC dot, can I access this HDFC special loan type? Is equal to loan type 1. Can I access or not? I can access this, right? I can access this HDFC, this particular variable. Similarly, using this object reference HDFC dot open flexible account, I can access. But can I access this common variables which are there in the bank interface by creating object for HDFC bank? That is account type 1, account type 2, open account, deposit. All this can I access? HDFC dot account type 1, is it coming? No. Account type 2, is it coming? No. Open account is coming? No. Normal open account is not coming. Deposit money is coming? Dot deposit? No. Dot transfer money is coming? No. Dot what is the other one? Withdraw money is coming? No. Only the variables and methods which are specific to HDFC bank I can access. But I want to make this HDFC bank a child class of the bank class. How to do that? With using which keyword I have to do that? Using which keyword I have to make the HDFC class a child class of the bank class? Extends keyword. So I'll write extends here after the HDFC bank class name. I'll write extends here and I'll give the parent class name, the class name that I want to make the parent of the HDFC bank, that is bank class. Now, HDFC bank is a child class of the bank class because after HDFC, I gave extends and then bank. Extends is making the bank class a parent of HDFC bank. Okay. The moment I write extends keyword here, and now if I write HDFC dot, am I getting account type 1 now? Once I make the HDFC bank a child class of bank class, am I getting account type 1? Can I access now? Savings, I'll say. HDFC bank, HDFC dot account type 2. Current, I will say. Okay, I can access all the properties of the parent class now. Okay, by creating an object for the child class, I'm able to access the properties of the parent class because now HDFC bank is a child class of the parent bank class. Okay, so all the properties of the bank class are also can be accessed by creating an object for the child class. Okay, like creating an object for child class using the object reference of the child class, we can not only access the properties of this HDFC bank, but also its parent class like this. Now HDFC dot open, HDFC dot open account, HDFC dot deposit money, HDFC dot transfer money, HDFC dot withdraw money, all the methods. Okay, all the methods I can access. Now, similarly, if I have to access this variables, that is properties of the Axis Bank. If I want to access the property, if I want to access the properties of the Axis Bank, what I have to do? What I have to do, guys? If I want to access the properties of the Axis Bank, I need to create an object for Axis Bank. New Axis Bank. Like this, I have to create an object. Once I create an object, I'll say Axis is equal to, I have to declare this with the Axis Bank class type only. And using the object reference, if I try to access, can I access all the properties of Axis Bank and bank class? Is it possible? Or only the properties of the Axis Bank can be accessed with the object reference? Only Axis Bank properties, right? Only Axis Bank properties. Axis dot, you see, Axis zero balance account type. Okay. Zero balance one. Okay. Some name I am giving, random name. Okay. Similarly, Axis dot reverse money I can access. Reverse money transfer I can access. But can I access access dot account type 1, access dot account type 2? Can I access? No, right? I cannot access. How can I access then? Using the object reference of Axis Bank, I have to make this Axis Bank a child class of which class? Using extends keyword, I have to make this Axis Bank a child class of extends bank. I have to write extends bank. The moment I write extends bank, now type here access dot account type 1 savings, access dot account type 2 current, right? Access dot open account, access dot deposit money, access dot withdraw money, access dot transfer money. All the methods and all the variables are getting inherited from the parent bank class. Similar thing I can do for ICICI. Initially, when ICICI Bank is not a child class of the bank class, I can only access the properties of the ICICI Bank class. But once I make this ICICI child class of the bank class, I can access all the inherited properties. ICICI Bank, whatever the properties that it is inheriting from its parent class, that is bank class, also can be accessed with the object reference of the ICICI. New ICICI. ICICI is equal to ICICI. Now, ICICI dot high interest rate, high interest 1. Okay, some name I'm random value I'm giving. That's it. Then ICICI dot, I cannot access remaining account type 1, account type 2 I cannot access. I account dot what is the method we have? No debit card fees applies. Okay, this one special method we have. But remaining I cannot access. ICICI dot open account not coming. So what I have to do? I have to make the ICICI a child class using the extends keyword, a child class of the parent class bank. Once I make the ICICI a child class of the bank parent class bank, now bank is a parent of the ICICI child class. So all the properties of the bank class can be used by ICICI, are inherited by ICICI. So with the object reference of ICICI, I can access all the things. Account type 1, let's say savings. Okay. ICICI dot account type 2 current. ICICI dot open account. ICICI dot deposit money. ICICI dot withdraw money. ICICI dot transfer money. Like that, I can access. Now, if I run this, things will work fine. Run the main method in the demo class, and you will see that all the output will come properly. You see, Flexi account of HDFC Bank opened, account opened, money deposited, money transferred, money withdrawn. This is for Axis Bank. All the methods are being called. This is for the ICICI Bank. All the things got printed. Okay. So everyone clear with inheritance? Everyone clear with the inheritance concept? What is inheritance and why it is required in real time? This is very important, guys. Okay. If you understand this, we'll use the same concept in our framework creation also. Okay. In framework creation, we have to use inheritance concept. Okay. For some purpose. Similarly, there will be multiple classes in our framework, which, yeah. What is a parent for bank? If you want, you can create. Otherwise, it's not compulsory. You can also create a parent for bank also. Just try to think of. Okay. Just try to think of what can be a parent for bank. Yeah, maybe RBI example I don't want to take here. Okay. So RBI is definitely a parent of the bank and all, but we'll take that RBI example in a different case. Okay, different way. Fine. Yeah. For bank class also, you can make another parent, another class a parent of the bank class. Okay, this is just an example, Ramin. You don't have to take it seriously. Okay. Is that fine, Ramin? You don't have to take it seriously. Okay, the example. This is just an example. You can have any levels of parent classes. Okay, any levels of parent classes you can have. Parents can have grandparents. Those grandparents may have parents and grandparents and so on. Okay, that's you can play like this. You just create some like class D and make class C a parent of the class D and make class B a parent of class C and make class A parent of class B like that and so on. You can experiment with that. Okay, that will work fine. Can bank class access variables of ICICI class? Okay, Maha is asking me a question. Can bank class access variables of ICICI class? Is that possible? No, right? How can? It's not possible, right? It's not possible. Reverse is not possible. Only children can inherit the properties of the parent class. Okay, as per Java, children need to access the children need to inherit the properties of the parent class, but not okay. Parents will not inherit the properties of the child. Reverse is not there. Okay, fine. But fine, that's a good question. Okay, that's a good question though. What are the purpose of creating child class? I told you already, right, Balu? If there are multiple classes having the same variables and methods duplicatedly created across multiple classes, in that case, we are going to create a parent class in our real time. This is a situation will come where all the four classes, 4 or 100 classes may have the same variables, same methods. Instead of creating the same variables, same methods in all across all the multiple classes, all the 100 or multiple classes, okay, what number doesn't matter. So instead of doing that, we'll create a parent class and make that parent class, okay, parent for all these classes where the same variables and methods are to be created. Instead of creating all the, yeah, avoid coding for every single class, right? Instead of writing the same variables and methods in all the classes, we'll just move that to the parent class and make the child classes inherit those properties. Understood, Balu? Balu, is it clear for you? Okay, I gave you the example here, right? Instead of having the same variables and methods in all the multiple classes, I created a bank class and moved all these common variables and methods to this bank class. Then in the child class, if I make this as child classes, child class anyhow will take these properties. No code duplication is removed. No need to write the code again and again, right? That's what is the advantage. Okay, that's what is the advantage. Okay, you see, if you create an object for the parent class, in that case, parent class can only access the properties of its variables and methods only. It cannot access the properties of the child class. Reverse is not possible, right? I told you, right? Child classes acquire the properties or inherit the properties of the parent class, but parent class can acquire the properties of the child class. Tell me, guys, can parent class acquire the properties of the child class? Okay, Balu is asking me again. All the parent class properties store into a single. No, no, Balu. How can single child class? Multiple child classes, right? Axis is one child class. HDFC Bank is another child class. ICICI Bank is another child class. Only bank is a parent class. All the common properties in the child classes, we are moving into a single parent class bank. By doing that, we don't have to create the same variables and same methods in all the child classes.
But we created objects in demo, right?
Yeah, that is different. Accessing is different. Okay.
Okay,
For
we'll be
accessing,
having the variables and
see,
methods in bank class.
yeah, 1 minute.
Open that script one.
You see, we have Axis Bank, we have HDFC Bank, we have ICICI Bank, let's say. Okay. We have bank, you know, this one, bank as a parent class. Okay. Now we have demo. Just move it here. Just observe. Okay. So what's your question now? So these three are child classes or not? ICICI, HDFC, Axis. Three are child classes or not?
Yes,
Why I made them child classes? What is the
they
need
are
for create?
extending parent class properties
Yes. Why they have to extend the parent class properties?
to access the variables and methods.
Okay. You
And
see,
coming to this demo,
hmm.
why we are creating objects in this class only?
Generally we create objects in main method only, right? If you
Okay,
without
okay.
without that we cannot run, right? Earlier also I gave the same thing, na?
So main method class
These
is
are like
not a parent
templates. This
class.
Axis Bank is a template. You remember, right? Class is a template. If you remember the concepts, class and objects concepts.
Yeah. So parent class should not be a main class, right?
No, no,
There
no,
is no main.
not parent class is also a template. Child
Okay.
classes are also template. These are the child templates of the parent template. Okay.
Okay.
This is something that we have done earlier also, right? We created another class and main method and then we have run the code, right? For running the
Yes.
code, I need this class. Otherwise, I don't need. Okay.
Okay.
This demo class is only for running, I want. Okay. So from
Okay.
somewhere I need to run the code now. That's why I created this demo class. Okay. By creating
Okay.
objects for these classes, I am running the code. Okay. That's the
Okay.
only reason. Now it's clear now for you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Balu, is it clear for you or any doubts?
No, sir. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Simple, Balu. Multiple classes are there. If in multiple classes, the same variables and methods, if you are creating here, right? Instead of doing that, in Java, there is a mechanism where you can create one more class and move the common variables and common methods across multiple classes into that separate class and make that class a parent of all these classes. Now, these classes, Axis, HDFC, ICI will become the child class of the bank class by using the extends keyword. After doing that, these properties are automatically part of this. I don't have to create these properties again in Axis Bank. I don't have to create the same properties in HDFC Bank. I don't have to create same properties in ICICI. Okay. Since these are the child classes, these properties are automatically inherited by the child classes. Okay. That's the purpose. Okay. The purpose is to simply remove the need for writing the same variables and methods across multiple classes in Java. Okay. That's the purpose. Now there is one more thing, guys. One more thing is, till now I created objects for the child classes or parent class. I created the objects here. HDFC is a child class, right? I create an object for child class. Using the child class object, after making the child classes of the parent class and all, what all properties I was able to access? Only the properties of the child class or also the properties of the parent class I can access. Both, 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 right? The answer is both, right? Properties of the child class along with the properties of the parent also, both I am able to access by creating an object for the child classes. Same thing with Access Bank also. Access Bank is our child class, the special properties of the child class and also the properties of the parent class I'm able to access. Similarly, ICICI Bank also same thing, properties of the same class and also properties of the parent class, inherited properties of the parent class. But what if I create an object for the parent class only? New bank like this. Can I create an object for the new bank? Is it possible? Yes or no? I can create, right? Any class I can. This is also a template class. These are also template classes. I can create an object for the bank class. Here I'll write bank is equal to bank. So what all properties I can access? I can only access the properties of the bank class, or also the child class properties I can access. Is it possible to access the child class properties of Axis HDFC ICA with the help of this bank? Is it possible? No, only bank. Bank dot account type 1. Okay. Bank dot account type 2. Can only access the properties of the bank class only. Remaining all classes I cannot. You see, I'm not getting any other thing like Axis, HDFC. Those things will not come. Okay. Again, the same thing: deposit money, bank dot open account, bank dot withdraw money, bank dot transfer money. Is there any other method coming? Any other method coming? No, right? Only those methods are coming. Remaining methods I cannot. Okay, I cannot access. So using the parent class object or object reference, we can only access the properties of the parent class only. We can only access the properties of the parent class only. Okay, this is what you need to understand. So object created for parent class can access the variables and methods that are created in parent class only. It cannot access the child class properties is the line. Okay. Everyone clear with the inheritance concept? This is what is inheritance, guys. Okay, this much is required enough. For Selenium automation, this much of understanding is enough even for frameworks. Okay, even for frameworks. Everyone type C in the chat box if it is clear for you. If the inheritance concept is clear for you, type C in the chat box. Great. Then next one is what? Next concept is overriding, guys. Okay. If you understand inheritance, you can understand overriding. Okay. Overriding is some concept related to inheritance. Okay. Without inheritance, we cannot understand overriding concept. Okay. On the top of inheritance only, overriding concept can be understood. So that's why I kept it. Immediately after overloading, I did cover overriding. The reason behind is if you understand inheritance, then only overriding concept can be understood. Okay, that's the main reason I put it later. So I'll do one thing, right click here and say, where is that? Close all. Okay, simply I'll say close all if there are multiple. Save and close all. This code I'll give it to you guys. Don't worry, I'll give it this code to you. And I'll create one more package that is overriding. Okay, overriding package. Okay. Fine. Now, just observe, guys, overriding concept, observe it. When a method in the child class is a duplicate of a method in parent class, then the method in the subclass is said to override the method in the superclass. You will understand that in a while. So here, I'll create some class and name that class as bank class. I will make this bank as a parent class. As you already know, I'll make the bank as a parent class. Finish. And the common variables and methods, generally the common variables and methods will be there, right? That I'll create in this bank class. String account type 1, string account type 2, like this I'll create. Okay. Okay. Now here method I'll create public void open account, one method I'm creating. Okay. Here I'll write some code saying system.out.println bank account opened. Bank account opened. One more method I'll create for sample. Two variables, two methods I'll create for sample. Public void deposit money method I'll create. I'm still in the inheritance concept, guys, but with an intention of taking you guys to understand overriding concept. Okay, inheritance only, but overriding concept. Without inheritance, you cannot understand overriding concept. Okay, system.out.println, money deposited into bank. Okay, money is deposited into bank. Now I'll create one more class. I'll just name this class as HDFC bank class. HDFC bank class. Click on finish, and I'll just drag it this side. You can see the bank and HDFC bank here. Now the same variables and same methods I want in the HDFC. Do you have to recreate them? The same variable and same methods that are there in the bank class, I want in HDFC. Do you have to copy paste them, or is there any other solution? What I have to do? I have to use extends keyword, right? You already know that. Okay. If the same variables and methods are required in multiple classes, multiple child classes, better to make this a child class of the bank class, right? I'll use extends bank. Then what happens? These properties will be inherited by the HDFC bank or not? Yes. Now, if I create an object for HDFC bank from some other class and using that object reference, I can access all these properties using the object reference of HDFC bank. That's you already know from the this today's session anyhow, right? Now, HDFC bank has its own properties. Let's say assume that it has its own string HDFC flexi account type. Okay, something like that. And some method is there, some special method is also there. Public void open HDFC flexi account. Okay, like that, some method is there. Here I'll write down system.out.println opening flexi HDFC account is opened. Account is opened. Account is opened. This is also done. All good. Now the problem is the HDFC bank has its own special properties or not? HDFC has its own special properties or not, guys? Yes, right? Apart from that, it's inheriting the properties of bank, because bank is a parent of HDFC. So HDFC bank is a child class of bank class. So it's inheriting the properties of the bank class, and also it has its own special properties. Now, what if I create an object for this HDFC bank? Right click new. Just observe it. It's very important. Okay. Demo. Overriding concept you will understand in a while. Public static void main. I create an object for the I'll create a demo class. The reason you know, right, why I create a demo class for this parent template and child template, I would like to create objects. That's the reason I generally create demo class and main method every time. Okay. New, you can give any name for this class. That's okay, but I'm just giving demo. New, if I say HDFC bank, just observe, guys, what I'm trying to explain. And I'll say HDFC is equal to, then here some values also I'll give it. Account type 1 is equal to savings I will give. And here some value I can give here also value. Okay. Current I'll say. Okay. So here I'll give is equal to flexi value I'll give. Okay. HDFC flexi I'll say. HDFC flexi. Okay. Some value I'm giving. Now here I'll say HDFC bank. Now using this object reference, I can access these properties, and this child class also inherits these properties from the parent. Also those properties also I can access, because HDFC is a child class of bank. Not only the properties of HDFC bank, we can also access the properties of the parent class by using this object reference. Right or wrong? Is this correct or not? Yes, right? Yeah, correct. Ramin, you are right. It's I'm using this as a runner class. Okay, it's not a template, but remaining all are templates. But I'm using this class as a runner class. Okay, HDFC dot. I can access account type 1. I can print it out. Already the value is given, right? I will simply say HDFC dot account type 1. Already the value is given here. You see, account type 1 savings is given. Okay. Similarly, system.out.println HDFC.account type 2. Similarly, I'll give system.out.println HDFC dot the special property, the special variable of the HDFC bank, that is HDFC dot HDFC flexi account type also I can access. That's good. Now I'll call the methods HDFC dot open account, HDFC dot deposit money, HDFC dot special method of the HDFC bank, that is open HDFC flexi account. I can access everything, right? Not only the properties of the HDFC bank, but also the properties which are inherited from the parent class I can access with the object reference of the child class. Now run this code and see that everything will work fine. As you know, savings current, HDFC flexi bank account open, money deposited into blank, flexi HDFC account is opened. Everything is working fine. Now what I will do is, now I got a requirement, guys. Observe here. This part is good, but still I have a problem. Now HDFC bank want to have a different value given for account type 1. Instead of normal savings, HDFC bank want it to name it as HDFC savings. Instead of current, okay, for even account type 1, account type 2 exists in HDFC bank, but HDFC bank wants the account type 1 to be HDFC savings, account type 2 as HDFC current. And also, when you say open, when you call this open account, here HDFC want the output should not be printed like this. Bank account open should not be printed. Instead, HDFC bank account open should be printed. And this deposit money also HDFC bank wants the same way. That is, money deposited into bank is getting printed. Money deposited into bank is printed. But HDFC bank wants what? Money deposited into HDFC bank should be printed. HDFC bank wants. What I have to do there? This is a common thing, right? I cannot modify here. If I put HDFC, tomorrow problem will come with Axis Bank for me, right? I cannot. Can I put Axis Bank account opened, HDFC Bank account opened here and money deposited into HDFC Bank here, the bank class? Is it possible? Is it a good idea to do that? Yes or no? Can I modify here? Because this is a common thing. This is a common parent for all multiple child classes. If I do as changes specific to HDFC Bank here, it's not a good thing, right? So where I have to do the changes then? This is possible with the help of what? Overriding. What is the concept, guys? Overriding. Whenever HDFC bank or some child classes thinks that it wants the same behavior, same items, but with different values and all, then it's not compulsory that if it has a parent class, the same properties should not be there in the child class. It's not something. I can create again. String account type 1 is equal to HDFC savings. All banks are fine with savings and current, but only HDFC bank wants like this. Okay, Axis Bank, ICICI, IDFC Bank wants the same naming convention, but HDFC want to do some modification. So instead of savings, it want HDFC savings. So whenever such kind of things are requested by the child classes, then in that particular child classes, you can modify the stuff. HDFC current. HDFC current. Now, similarly, these two methods, open account deposit method also, it wants in a different way. So the different way is here, public void, open account, same method. You see, I'm using the same method, you know, the child class. Even though this method is already available in the parent class, but child class want the behavior of this method to work in a different way. The logic of the HDFC bank should be different, let's say. So instead of printing bank account open here, HDFC bank want to print HDFC bank account open. Now public void deposit money system.out.println money deposited into HDFC bank, right? Why already the common properties are there in the parent class, but still the child class is using the common properties. Why? Because this child class wants the properties in its own way. It don't want to take the values of the parent class, parent methods and all. It want to implement the logic and the values in its own way. That's the reason for the child class to override the variables and methods of the parent class. Understood, guys? Why the child class is overriding? It wants the behavior in its own way. Instead of savings, it wants HDFC savings, HDFC bank. Remaining banks, let's say Axis, ICICI, IDFC, I want to go with this format only. But only HDFC bank want the names to be in different way, the methods printing logic should be in a different way. Then the child class can override the variables and methods of the parent class and implement those things in a different way. It's okay. The freedom is there for the child classes, even though these properties are inherited from the parent class, but still the child class has a kind of freedom to implement those common properties and common methods of the parent class in its own way. That's okay. Okay, remaining all classes will follow this format, whereas this HDFC will implement its own way. Okay, that's okay. Now, if I run this code, if I run the same code where I have created an object for the HDFC bank, account type 1 will be printed as what? Savings or HDFC savings? Tell me, guys. Inherited value will come or overridden value will come? Inherited value or overridden value? Inherited value or overridden value? What will be coming as output? Overridden value. Since this variable is overriding the variable in the parent class, when you create an object for the child class, the overridden value of the child class will be taken into consideration, not the parent value. Here methods also, overridden methods or parent method, inherited methods. When they call with the help of object reference, when you call open account, this overridden method in the child class will be called or the inherited method from the parent will be called. There is an ambiguity, right? There is a conflict here. Parent inherited method is there at same time. This child class is inheriting the parent method. Same time it has its own method. Which one will be given preference? The one which is overriding the method in the parent class will be given preference, overridden method. This is called as overriding, guys. Okay, run this. This time you see HDFC savings, HDFC current, HDFC flexi, HDFC bank account opened, money deposited into HDFC bank, flexi, everything about HDFC came. Okay, clear, guys? Why overriding is required in Java programming? Is it clear for everyone? Is it clear, guys? Why overriding is required for?
Sir.
Yeah.
So, sir, I got it what you're saying. So, basically, there is a slight difference there between inheritance and overriding. So, basically, in overriding, in inheritance, we are taking the property of the parent class, and in overriding, we are basically changing the property of the parent class.
Yes. Yes. Right. Now, what I mean to say here is, for example, there are few other classes also. Let's say we have this. Let's say Axis class also is there. Axis Bank is also there. Okay. Let's say Axis Bank is there. In the Axis Bank doesn't need this customization. Okay. It want to inherit the properties only from the parent class. It don't want to have the savings as Axis savings. It don't want current to be Axis current. It don't want bank account opened is fine. It don't want Axis Bank account opened. Money deposited into bank is fine with Axis Bank. We don't want money deposited into Axis Bank. Okay. So in that case, bring, let's say, Axis zero account. Zero account type is equal to, I'll just give some value. Axis zero, I'll say. Axis zero, some special property I'm giving. And public void open zero account. Zero account opened in Axis Bank. This is there. But Axis, now, Axis Bank, I will make the child class. Don't forget to make the Axis the child class of bank class. Okay. So in this case, is there any overriding happening in the Axis Bank? Though HDFC Bank is overriding the variables and methods of the bank class, but is Axis Bank doing the same? No, right? In this case, what will happen? Let's see. If I create an object for the Axis Bank, new Axis, where Axis Bank doesn't want to do any modification to the common things that are there in the parent class. but enough freedom is given for the child classes to override the things in the parent class. Not always it is required. Whenever the child classes will feel that let's have our own implementation of the things. Let's not as it is used from the parent class. Let's try to implement ourselves. In that case, overriding will do. But Axis Bank is something where they don't need that customization. They want to go with the default things, whatever that is there in the parent class. So if I say now, I can access both the properties of the, because Axis Bank is a child class of the parent class, I can access like this. Account type 1 is equal to, I can print it out, okay? I want to use as it is, system.out.println, access.account type 1, okay? System.out.println, access.account type 2. System, then access dot zero account type. This one is already there. I can print it out. System dot out dot println access dot its own method is its own variable is there, na common specific variable. Access dot access zero account type 1 type. Then I can say access dot open account, access dot deposit money, access dot open zero account. Okay, all these things are there. But is Axis Bank overriding the properties of bank class? In this case, is Axis Bank overriding the properties of the bank class? So what property, only the properties that will be inherited will be called or not in this case? The properties that are inherited will be called or not in this case? Run this code. You'll see that. You see? Savings current came. Instead of Axis savings, Axis current, only savings current came because in Axis, we don't have overridden variables and overridden methods. Axis 0 came. Bank account opened is there, money deposited into bank. Normal bank, they are saying, you see, bank. Instead of Axis Bank, bank account opened. Instead of Axis Bank, money deposited into bank. Now is it clear? Only some child classes may want some customization. In that cases, some child classes may have the freedom to override the things that are inherited from the parent. Overriding things will be inherited things will be overridden by the child class properties. The same things if you give, you see, open account and same name, with the same name you created the variable and methods. In that case, the one that is there in the child class with the same name of the parent class will override the things in the parent class. And on the top of that, here there is an annotation. This is an optional annotation. You can also put override annotation here. This is an optional, guys. Okay. This is optional. Override annotation is optional. If you want to put, you can put. Otherwise, if you put, what will happen? You can clearly understand that this method is overriding the method in the parent class. Okay. Whereas this method is not overriding. This is a special method of HDFC Bank only, right? Whereas these methods are already part of the parent class. They are overriding. So for such kind of methods, you can write override just to understand while readability will increase. While reading the code itself, you'll understand these methods are overriding some methods in the parent class. Okay. Just for that case, you can add that annotation. Otherwise, it's optional. Whether you provide or not doesn't matter. So now explain. Now, is it clear or any doubts, guys? At this point, are there any doubts?
The concept is clear, sir. Sir, definition only, if you give it.
Definition you will understand. Okay. When a method in the child class is a duplicate of a method in the parent class. Okay. When a method in the child class is duplicate of a method in the parent class, then the method in the child class is overriding the method in the superclass. What is overriding? If a method in the child class is same or a duplicate of a method in the parent class, then the method in the child class is called as an overridden method of the parent class. That concept is called as overriding. Clear? Guys, is it clear? What is method overriding? If a method in child class is having the same, or if the method in the child class is a duplicate of a method in parent class, then the method in child class is said to override the method in parent class. Okay. If a method in the child class is a duplicate of a method in parent class, then the method in the child class is said to override the method in the parent class. This is called as overriding. Overriding. Now clear or doubts again? Any doubts you can ask me right away.
So this and inheritance, then what will be the for inheritance?
This is not inheritance. This is overriding. Inheritance I
No,
explained
I got
already,
it.
right?
No, sir, I got it, sir. Inheritance. So definition I'm saying, sir.
In inheritance definition is very simple. Okay. Uh, in inheritance, child classes acquire the properties. Properties means variables and methods of parent class. Okay. In inheritance, what will happen? Child classes acquire the properties of the parent class. If you make a particular class a child class of the parent class, then the properties of the parent class will be inherited by the child class or will be acquired by the child class. They don't have to be created again and again. Okay. Is this clear inheritance concept? Or any doubts? On the top of inheritance, we have overriding. We are giving a flexibility for child classes not to blindly inherit the properties from the parent class. Rather, if the child classes wants their own implementation, few of the child classes want their own implementation for those methods in the parent class instead of blindly inheriting and using them. Then Java is giving a flexibility for the child classes to implement the same methods or same variables in the child class in its own way, in that particular child class way. In that case, the child class variables and methods are said to override the methods in the parent class. So inherited methods will be considered or overridden methods will be considered when we create objects for child class in that case. Overridden methods will be considered. Yes. Overriding means accessing parent class method in child class with some new implementation, right? That's a different way of understanding. That's okay. Now clear or still you have any doubt, you can ask me. That's okay to ask. If you still are not clear, you can ask me again and again. No problem. Until you get it gets clear, you have to ask me.
Clear, sir.
Clear, right?
Yes.
So in inheritance, the child class is acquiring the properties of the parent class. Why we are doing, you already know. Okay. But there may be some special child classes which don't want the exact implementation given by parent class. They want to implement their own way. For example, HDFC, Axis, ICICI are there. Every bank is okay with the parent class implementation. But now one of the bank in the child classes, let's say HDFC Bank, wants to implement open accounting process in a different way, depositing money process in a different way. Then the flexibility should be there now. So the same method will duplicate in the child classes, and the duplicate methods having different implementation are going to override the methods of the parent class. So inherited methods will be inherited at same time. Methods are overriding the inherited methods. So overridden methods will be considered while creating objects for the child classes, for such kind of classes. Okay. So this summary is, I have done that. But is it possible to override constructors is the question. Is it possible to override the constructors? What do you say, guys? Is it possible to override the constructors? Methods overriding is fine. Variable overriding is fine. But can a child class override a constructor of the parent class? Is it possible? Yes or no? Everyone type yes or no. What do you think? Is it possible to override the constructor of parent class in the child class? Few people are saying yes. Few people are saying no. What is the correct answer? The correct answer is no. We cannot implement overriding concept for constructors. Why? I'll tell you. I'll give you the reason now. Here, bank is the parent class. So if you have to create a constructor here, public bank, like this, you will write inside bank constructor. Now, if I have to create a constructor in HDFC Bank, can I create the constructor with the bank class name here in this class? Is it possible? I have to create a duplicate constructor, right? I have to duplicate this constructor in the parent class. Is it possible to create like this? Will that be a constructor? Will that become a constructor in the child class? You already know, right? You already know that the name of the constructor should match with the name of the class. Then how can this HDFC Bank override this bank? Is it possible? When the constructor should have the same name as a class name, is it possible to override the constructor in the child class to override the constructor in the parent class? Possible? When the name of the constructor should match with the name of the class as per the rules of Java? Not possible at all. How can it duplicate? How can a constructor of child class duplicate the constructor in the parent class? Because they have the different names. There's no possibility of duplication, right? So overriding, is it possible for constructors in Java? Is overriding possible for constructors in Java? Not possible. Okay, overriding is not possible for constructors in Java inside HDFC bank constructor. Okay, overriding is not possible for constructors in Java, guys. Okay, understand that. Clear, guys? Clear? Constructors cannot be overridden, as the name of the constructor needs to be same as the name of the class. There is no possibility of duplicating the constructor from the parent class, because child class has its own name for the constructor, parent class has its own name. How can it duplicate? Whereas the methods can have the same name, right? Method in the child class can duplicate the same name of the parent class method, but constructor cannot do that. That's why overriding concept is not applicable for. Okay. Can we override main method? Can we override main method? But this is very, it's not required to answer, but this generally not needed. In templates, we don't use main method, right? So what the use will not come basically, but you can try it out. Okay, overriding of main method is too much actually. Okay, as per the question. The question is good, but still, no one will ask you or something like that. Okay. Pawan, this is something out of context. Okay, main method question. Question is good, but we don't have to dig it that level. Okay. You can research on that by yourself, Pawan. But ultimately, I don't want to answer this because object-oriented concepts should be learned this way only. So main method we don't. Okay. Maybe if you want to investigate that direction, you are free to go. Okay. Is that fine, Pawan? You can try it out and see. What if you have the same main method in the parent class and child class and see that, okay? But are they asking this in the interviews? Pawan? Okay, fine. Then let's see. But before going there, there's one more thing. I want to ask one more important thing. Is overloading possible? Is overloading possible in inheritance? Is overloading possible in inheritance? Yes or no? In the same class, for example, overloading means what? In the same class, if you create duplicate methods with the same name, they should differ in terms of the number of parameters, the type of parameters, the order of parameters. I covered it yesterday, right? Overloading in the same class is fine. But what about overloading in inheritance? Is it possible or not? Yes or no? Is overloading possible? Yes, overloading is possible, guys. What if here we have open account and here also we have open account? Now this method is said to override this method in the parent class or overload this method in the parent class. Override or overload at this point. When there is a duplicate method of the parent class, it is overriding or overloading? Overriding. But what if I give something like int a and remove this override annotation? In this case, this method is said to override this method in the parent class overload. It's not a duplicate method anymore. Inside the same class or in inheritance, parent and child classes, the same concept, guys. Inside the same class, same concept. If there is a same name, but they have different number of parameters or different type of parameters or different order of parameters, this method is said to overload now. This is overloading, not overriding. Okay? Overloading is possible in inheritance, yes or no? No. Tell me. Overloading is possible. Now, when I call this method, which method will be called? If I call this hdfc.openAccount, this overloading method will be called, or this parent class method will be called this time? Overloading or parent? Just think and answer. hdfc.openAccount. hdfc.openAccount. This child class method, child class overloading method, or parent class method? Parent is the answer. Why? Because I'm not passing anything, right? Open account means this is matching with the parent class. Parent class overloaded method will be called. But if I pass something like 9 here, in that case, child class or parent class? Child class. This is matching. Same overloading concept. Clear, everyone? Is overloading possible in inheritance? Yes, possible. Okay. Yes. Hope everyone is clear. But I'm done with this today's session, and I'm going to clear your doubts now. Anyone having doubts can stay, and anyone in a hurry to leave to office, they can leave to office, guys. So anyhow, Pawan is asking me a question. They're asking in the interviews. He is saying, let's investigate that main method with the first question, and after that, if anyone want to leave, you can leave, guys. Or if you want to go through the questions, question and answers things, so you can stay. Okay, up to you. Okay, I'll close all this stuff. Let's try that main method thing. All this code I'll share you in the Telegram group. Overriding doubts, I'm saying. Now new class. I'll say P class. P means parent class, let's say. Here in the parent class, I'll create public static void main string of system.out.println. Okay. So there is a problem here. This main method is of which type? Yeah, welcome Rajkumar. Main method is of which type? Static, right? Can we do we have to access with the help of object or with the help of class generally? With the help of class. Static methods with the help of class, right? So let's see what will happen. Inside main method of T class, I'll say right click, new class, C class. In the child class, I'll make this a child class, extends T class. Here also public static void main string of args. Same main method I'm creating. System.out.println. Inside main method of child class, I'll say otherwise. Okay. Now, what's your question? What's your question? Let's go through your question once.
Can we override main methods?
Can we override main methods? Okay.
Yes, that's right.
Now, this method is overriding this method or not, we need to find out. How can we find out? How can we say whether this particular method, okay, we'll do one thing, at the rate override also I'll write. What will happen with this? We will get the answer. What I'm getting? When I
Compiler
write
error.
override, I'm getting compiler error saying that the method main string of type C class must override or implement a super type method. Okay. Means main method cannot be overridden. That's what, right? If I remove this, it's okay. So, for example, a method can be overridden. For example, if a method can be overridden, public void sample method I am writing here. The same method if I write here, public void sample, and before this method if I write at the rate override, any error coming? Pawan, is there any error coming here?
No, sir.
No, that means this method the normal method can be overridden. But if I write the same thing here at the rate override, the same annotation, then I am getting an error. That itself proves that we cannot override the main method in the parent class. Okay. With this simple logic, we can give the answer saying that methods in the parent main method in the parent class cannot be overridden. The answer is no. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So if at all you will get this kind of questions, you can answer by using this logic. If you write the rate, I tried writing the rate override annotation about the main method and try to override, I got an error. So and Java is clearly saying that we cannot override such kind of main methods. Okay. Normal methods I'm able to override. You can answer like that. Okay. That will be good to go. Okay. That will be more than enough, I can say, to answer
Okay,
the
sir.
interviewer that main methods cannot be overridden. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I'll
Thank
also make a note of this. Main method cannot be overridden in Java. Okay. Fine. Any other questions or doubts? Guys, anyone have any other doubts or questions from today's session? Inheritance, overriding. I'll just make it comment, so otherwise I cannot. Okay. Fine, guys. If you have any questions, you can stay in the meeting and keep asking. Meanwhile, I'll just upload the code. Just ask me if you guys have any questions. Welcome, Mahesh.
హాయ్ సార్. ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్‌లో ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఎక్స్టెన్స్ అనే కీవర్డ్ చూస్తే మనకు తెలిసిపోతుంది. ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఉందని. కానీ
Right.
ఓవర్ రైడింగ్, ఓవర్ రిడెన్ తెలియాలంటే ఎలా సార్? మనం ఏం కీవర్డ్స్ యూజ్ చేయట్లేదు కదా!
Extends keyword. Overriding, at the rate override keyword. We can use at the rate override keyword if you really want.
ఓకే.
It's optional, but it's optional. Okay. Whether you want to provide or not, up to you. But if you provide, you can clearly understand that this method is overriding the method in the parent class.
ఓకే. ఓకే.
But if you
అండ్
don't
ఇంకోటి
provide,
సార్, మనకి ఓవర్‌లోడింగు, ఓవర్ రైడింగ్ అనేది ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్‌లో అవుతుంది మెథడ్స్ తోటి. కానీ కన్‌స్ట్రక్టర్స్ ఉంటే అవ్వట్లేదు. అది ఓవర్‌లోడింగే
in
అవుతుంది.
constructors only in the same class you can overload. Okay. But in child classes, it's not possible. Why? Because the name of the constructor should match with the name of the class. If duplication is only there, then only we'll have the overloading or overriding concepts, right?
కరెక్ట్ సార్.
If duplication is not possible, then how can we go for overloading and overriding? There is no need of discussing for constructors about overloading and overloading, because in inheritance, I am saying, okay? Within the class, overloading is possible because in the same class, you can create the constructor with the same name. But in, but in the child classes,
Child class.
you
Yeah,
cannot
child
create,
class
you have to
different.
give a different name for the constructor. You have to give a different name for the constructor. So not possible, right? Overloading, overriding in inheritance is not possible. Okay, because
Okay.
constructors will have the different name. No room for duplication. Okay,
Okay.
clear now?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome. Any other questions, guys? Okay, welcome, guys. Welcome. Balu, Pawan, Tanmay.
Hi. Arun, we are also going to cover this Jenkins and Git.
Yeah, at the
all
end,
things.
that will take time. Okay, at the end, it will be there. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Because we have to cover frameworks and Selenium automation is not yet covered. Frameworks are there.
Okay.
Okay. So at the end it will come. Okay. The real time thing I'll cover now. At that time it will come. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Balu, what is your question?
Sir, which method are mostly like using to in real time, like overriding, overload, and inheritance?
Which method we use more
Like
in
mostly.
inheritance? We use for sure. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Overloading also we use in real time. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Overriding, very less cases, very less chances. Okay.
Okay, sir. Mainly focus on to inheritance is fine, sir.
Inheritance overloading is very important. Framework wise, you will see that where we are using it. At that time, it will be clear for you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Overloading we generally use in frameworks when you create same method with a different purpose. Okay, same method with a different purpose, then we go for overloading. Okay, overriding very less chances.
Okay, sir. Sir, in inheritance is just accessing to methods and variables, sir. Like, is there a number of classes there, sir, like child classes? So can
Yeah.
access only action keyword is enough, sir?
I didn't get that. Come again.
No, sir. ఇప్పుడు మనకి వచ్చేసి ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ ఉంది కదా సార్, ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఉంది కదా సార్ మనకి.
Yes, yes.
ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ మనకి మెథడ్స్ వేరియబుల్స్ ని మనం స్టోర్ చేయడానికి యాక్సెస్ చేయడానికి మనం యూజ్ చేస్తాం కదా సార్.
Yes, yes.
సో ఓవర్ రైడ్ అనేది జస్ట్ ఏంటంటే ఐ మీన్ స్మాల్ లైక్ ఏదైనా చేంజెస్ ఉండడానికి ఓవర్ రైడింగ్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం కదా సార్. అంటే పేరెంట్స్
For example, you see there is a car prototype, but BMW car want to implement the driving mechanism in a different way, whereas another car, let's say Audi car, want to implement the driving mechanism in a different way. But
Okay, sir.
most of the other cars want to implement as per the parent only. Okay, normal
Okay.
template. But
Okay.
BMW wants special features and Audi wants special features. In that case, what we do? We'll implement overriding concept in the BMW and Audi classes. Remaining all
Okay.
classes, they will simply copy paste from the prototype, parent prototype. Okay, parent class.
Okay.
Understood
Okay,
now? Why?
Yes, sir.
Why that overriding is required? Okay, specialization. Okay, some special
Okay, sir.
features, same thing, but in a special way. Driving mechanism, logic or whatever the logic for driving in BMW, it want to be in a different way. In that case, overriding is given a freedom. The BMW car is given a freedom to implement its own way. Okay, kind of.
Okay, sir.
On what car does. Okay, generally.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, that's what is the overriding concept. Nothing much. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank
Yeah. Any other questions, Balu and Pawan?
you. No, sir. No, sir, from my end.
All good, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
May I know the next topic, sir? Like yes.
Next topic will be this modifiers, access modifiers and non-access modifiers, like public, static, sorry, public, private, default,
Default.
protected, and then we have final, static, such kind of abstract. These things are there, na?
Okay.
Access
Sir,
modifiers, we generally call them. Okay, access
Sir,
modifiers are public, private, protected, and default. Whereas non-access modifiers, we have them as static, final, and abstract. Okay, and along with
Sir,
that, we have interface concept also. Okay,
okay.
yeah.
Sir, and one thing, you have daily post into Java interview questions in YouTube channel.
Yes, right, correct.
So right now we are going to continue to Java. So that is prepared to right now is good or not, sir?
I didn't get that. Come again.
No, sir. Right now we are following that interview questions Java like is
Yeah,
good
you can
type.
follow. You can follow parallelly interview questions.
Okay, sir.
So when while I'm teaching Java for you here, you can go and watch those interview question and answers. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, sure, sir.
If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Maybe
Thank you,
some
sir.
topics may not be covered, for which I've already answered as per there, but most of the topics are covered, right? So you can go and check those interview questions. Okay, you will get some additional
Okay.
knowledge. Okay,
Yeah, sure, sir.
same notes. Maybe from tomorrow we'll have a different notes. Okay,
Okay, sir.
today's
Okay. Thank you,
code.
sir.
Yeah, welcome.
హలో సార్
Yeah, hello.
సార్ మీతో పర్సనల్ మాట్లాడదామని ఆగాను సార్ లాస్ట్ దాకా
Okay, okay. Anything related to this class, or you want to ask something other than class?
సంథింగ్ అదర్ దెన్ క్లాస్ సార్
Okay, give me a
సార్
second. I'll just stop the recording and then you can ask me. Okay.